Hello and welcome to Give Me Something, the show where our passports are Australian but our wallets are citizens of the world. I'm Sam Phillips. That's Ryan Hammy Goodman in a sharp-looking tuxedo. How are you, mate?
Wish I could say the same, Sam.
What is wrong with this kit? Why do you keep saying that?
Where do we start, Eagle?
What? Go on, Eagle.
We just can't. At least he doesn't look like a geography teacher today, though. Maybe it's more like PE teacher.
When do I look like a geography teacher?
When you wear that quarter zip or whatever it is.
Yeah.
What's wrong with wearing quarter zips?
Nothing. There's nothing wrong with it. Just you look like
If you don't look like a geography teacher, it's fine.
That's real prefrontal lobe hasn't developed chat from Eagle, I reckon.
Yeah.
How are you, Eagle?
Yeah, great.
What's wrong with that?
No, it's all right.
I didn't even mention Manly. Why did you?
Yeah, well, obviously that's all that goes on in my brain anyway, so I know that's what you're talking about.
Very small brain.
Oh, come on.
Feeling better-ish today. I still haven't done my Twitter statement from the loss or this.
No one is waiting for that.
They are. People
actually
literally
would be.
did welfare checks on me yesterday. I got tweets being like, "Where are you?"
Yeah.
So that'll come. But I've just been busy.
Should we set an alarm for that or
Yeah,
what time?
yeah.
What time today?
I've got a notification already.
Yeah. I've got tweet notice on.
Good. Well,
Yeah.
you'll see it then.
Great.
So.
Can't wait.
Look forward to that. Hey, what are you complaining about as well? Your AFL team's in the grand final?
Exactly
Should be
right.
happy.
Yeah. Even though I
And
can't name 10
also,
players.
my best day from my horoscope is this Saturday.
Nice.
Oh, it's your best.
Yeah.
Because it's his worst.
Oh,
Also,
well.
I thought it was Manly in a prelim, not happening. So
Maybe that's just because...
Cancel out.
Maybe because Katy Perry's not going to play hot or cold. Maybe that'll be my disappointment for the day. And Swan's going to win famously.
like we said, yesterday was my challenging day and nothing bad happened. So it was a challenge.
challenging,
It was
though, wasn't it?
challenging. I was exhausted yesterday.
Yep.
However, nothing bad happened. So again, maybe,
Maybe it'd just be exhausting and stuff
Exactly.
like that.
Okay.
or it could be closer than you want
Win
it to be, but
famously.
you still get the win. So
All right. Let's quickly explain why Hammy's wearing a tuxedo.
Yep.
He obviously did go to the Brownlow last night.
Yep. Not inside. Wasn't allowed inside. But
Not allowed inside. I wouldn't let
Outside.
him inside either if I was the AFL. If you haven't gone and checked out his video with Dan Gorringe on the red carpet, very funny. In my humble opinion, some of the best content I've seen from the Brownlow last night. Very funny stuff. Go check it out. But that's not why he's wearing it. He's wearing it because he said Isaac Henry would be leading after 15 rounds last
Yeah.
night, and he was not.
I failed to factor in the fact that apparently Patrick Cripps had to poll 3 votes in every single game. That was a new rule the AFL brought in this year.
What about that? Just every game,
More
2 or
Vic-
3.
More Victorian bias.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think it's just the it seems like a level of bias toward midfielders that we've never seen before.
It's remarkable, isn't it?
Genuinely remarkable.
Need a crackdown.
30 years ago, 20 votes would win you the thing, and now he's
I know.
Bloke's getting 45 votes.
Yeah, running away with it. But congrats to you. We'll get to it in the repercussions, but you did have the Quinella, which was...
I did.
Well
I
played.
needed it
Yeah.
because I was still paddling. Still, I managed to find a way to lose this week. My rugby league radar is skew-if at the moment,
Yeah.
but it will change this week. Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So,
Two of the biggest gimme games of the season probably this weekend, so hopefully you can find a winner in those.
yeah, I think I have. Don't worry. This is our grand final extravaganza
It is.
show. So we're doing one this week for AFL. Next week we'll have one for NRL.
We will.
Very excited for that. We'll be back in the Bloke studio in Sydney. Obviously,
Yep.
we're in Melbourne here today.
Yep.
And for that reason, we've got two of the sharpest minds in the sport.
Well, one of the sharpest and one of the most one-eyed minds in the sport, probably. Fair to say?
It's a bit harsh for Flanas. He's a good punter as well.
Yep, sort of. But yeah, we have got Kane Cornes, which is very exciting.
Can't
a lot
wait.
of movement in Kane's world in the last couple of days. So to
lot.
fit us in amongst all the new signings, and he's obviously off to a new network and all that sort of stuff. Very appreciative for his time. But we're
I'm sure
looking
he's a big
forward-
fan, yeah.
I'm sure this will be right up there as a highlight in his career. We'll ask him when he comes
Yep,
on.
yep.
And then Flanas, of course, he always loves joining us on the show. I sense there'll be a bit of a theme to the bets that he feeds us
Yeah.
this week.
A few Swans bets probably.
I would dare say so.
Yeah.
But always good to see Flanas as well.
Correct.
Yep.
He's in here. Just saw him in the green room wearing, what you call them, pluggers? Those thongs? What do you call them? Pluggers?
Tony Lockett, plugger. Bit of an omen.
Very interesting to have, barefoot behaviour in the office in the middle of Collins.
So he
Street.
rolls.
It's
He's
interesting
relaxed on grand final week.
Relax.
If you like.
It's like the boys go for a walk before the grand final. That's Flanas before
Yep.
the show today. So,
Yep.
all right, stick around for those two.
Yep. Quick bit of repercussions
Yeah.
before the repercussions.
Let's rip into it.
Before them,
Do you want to start?
yeah, just a quick one.
Yeah.
When you do an ice bath, you got to get your shoulders on it, don't you, Eagle?
you do.
Yeah. So he had a crack at one last week.
It was like here, mate.
Yeah.
Come
so your
on.
shoulders weren't under.
Come on.
Where are your shoulders?
Well, mine,
Head and shoulders,
Mine
neck
are pretty
and
big,
toes.
obviously. So
Interesting of him to take a. I don't know if you noticed, he actually took a bath mat in with him in the ice bath. You didn't have to take that in. Doesn't count if you're wearing a woolly jumper. You got to do it shirtless.
I've had some good recent feedback on the chest hair. So,
Oh my God. I can't.
Didn't need to know that.
No.
Embarrassing stuff. If you didn't see it, Sam insisted I go first, so he knew the time to beat. I think I was, 4:20?
Yeah.
I lasted.
Blaze it.
And then you didn't even last a minute, and your shoulders weren't under. So I smashed you. I get an extra 5 units to play with over the next couple of weeks, which is very exciting.
Yep.
But you need to have a good hard look at yourself, mate. That was pretty ordinary.
I'll never go into an ice bath again. Mark my words.
We still haven't been in one because your shoulders.
I have been in one. I was in one. It was covering 80% of my body.
Let us know in the comments below. Do your shoulders need to go under for it to count? I would say yes.
All right, Repercussions.
Yep.
Very disappointed with my work on rugby league last week. I fell into the age-old trap of tipping the team that have come into that qualifying final off a win and then disregarding the top 4 teams off a loss. Age-old trap. Fell into it. Thought one of them maybe would get the job done. Eagles team were pathetic.
It was your
Cowboys
fault.
also pathetic.
I told you because you.
Yeah, I'm happy to have taken the bullet of 2 units if it means you don't talk about Manly for the next 12 months.
What a sad young
What a sad little man.
Preseason starts like
Sad
very
little
soon.
A sad little life. All right. So -4 units on rugby league. The Steelers looking like one of the best teams in the NFL this season. I picked up 0.87 of a unit there. Got the job done against the Chargers.
Yep.
Their defense is on fire. Had a Brownlow trifecta and a first 4 that didn't collect, unfortunately.
Bont once again gets
Bont
less
and
votes
Neal.
than Treloar somehow. Anyway,
Bont 20. I saw today Bont was 25 votes off Cripps or something. That's just outrageous.
Please.
Outrageous. But my best bet of the week, tipped at $1.75. I think it was $1.73 maybe. Yeah, it ended up starting about $1.60, and that was for Dacos and Cripps to run the Quinella. That got home. So that is the reason I'm not wearing the tuxedo. I finished with the -2.94 on the week, -13.92 overall. Due a big week. One big week, I'm back on the green. It's coming.
Yep. For me, I had Sri Lanka. I had Sri Lanka to win. A lot of rain in Gaul. The rain in Gaul falls mainly on the pitch, as the old rhyme goes. And unfortunately, the game was so impacted by rain, they were zeroing in on a win.
Were they?
They needed 2 wickets to get. New Zealand still needed 80 runs. I feel like they were trending
They're on
well.
top then, yeah.
But the game was unfortunately washed out. So that's actually scared me away from betting on cricket in Sri Lanka this game as well.
Oh, a bit of weather around?
Bit of La Nina floating through.
Oh, really?
Here at the moment, so rain clouds every day on the Gaul forecast. So I've stayed away. I did have a nice win Friday night footy. I had Papley 2, Heaney 2, paying $4. That was a nice watch. They both got going nicely there. Hopefully
Very
more of
nice.
that on the weekend.
Yep.
Then I had Heaney to be leading at the 15-round mark. Unfortunately, we've covered that. Cripps got him covered. Chad, I thought I'd actually won that one.
Yes, you did.
We had a look at it at breakfast this morning. I thought he was 10th, but Pat Cripps was in a different colour up the top.
Yes, you missed
It
it.
was actually 11th. I missed out by 1.
Yep.
Errol finished 7th. I had him for the top 5, so not my best there. Lost a unit there. For the week, I was -2, but I'm plus 42.89 overall. Obviously got a couple of extra units to play with this week as well.
Exciting. Still flying.
Still flying, still going well.
Still going very well.
Yeah, but look, enough about our results and kind of how we're going. Maybe we'll defer to an expert who actually knows what he's talking about.
Yes, please.
Very excited to have him on board right after this. Well, big coup on Give Me Something. We've got a big guest on the show today. We've blown the talent budget probably for the rest of the season, but I think it's actually going to be worth it. We've got a very exciting guest, a premiership player, a stack of AFL media awards, big Channel 7 deal as well. Big welcome to Kane Cornes.
Now, I'm feeling the pressure. Thanks for having me, Nat. Good to be here and just doing this out of the goodness of my heart, of course.
Yep. Good to have you. Now, obviously, I went through a couple of highlights there. Where does appearing on Sports Bet's all sports betting show give you something? Where's that rank as a career highlight?
Considering I wasn't familiar with the show,
Always nice to meet a fan.
but now I am.
Yep.
So now you've got a new fan. So no, it's up there. It's up there.
Beautiful. Now, it's good to have you on because we are a new show trying to establish a little bit of cut through, and that's not easy in a pretty congested media landscape. We were wondering if, before we get into some bets for the grand final and stuff, could you just give us like a bit of a peek behind the curtain of the art of the hot take? How do you kind of construct a good one? How do you get a little bit of clickbait out there just to get yourself a little bit more front and center?
Well, you've got to go where others won't. I guess that's probably the thing. When you say something that stands out, it grabs people's attention, which is probably what I have done. But there is method to it. Sometimes it's just, I'll be going for a run or something and an idea will pop into my head, and then I might send it to one of the producers at Channel 9 and they say, yeah, that's good, but why don't we sort of massage it in this direction? What footage can you put behind it? What stats can you put behind it as well? And then I think one of the important things is you got to have someone who disagrees. right? So
Yeah.
this is an
Got
underrated sort of aspect of the hot take. If you just say something and everyone goes, yeah, good point, love what you said there, then you're unlikely to get that cut through. But if Caroline Wilson or Matthew Lloyd or Hutchie or whoever, Tony Jones, Chompers says, no, that's completely wrong, and you then discuss that and debate it, then it can blow up. Or even better still, someone like a Dale Thomas on Triple M will hear it at a rival network, and then he'll go, oh, I heard what he said. He's a clown, and then it can sort of blow up from there. So there's a bit of an insight.
Yeah, I like that, and we're probably set up pretty well for success here because we don't agree on a lot. Fashion for a start is one of them.
Yeah, well, I can tell.
Yeah, happy with this. In the green room earlier, you were saying you actually quite like my watch. Sam disagreed there.
It's gold watch. I like it.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
Shout out to Casio if they want to jump on.
Tell us on the take front, if you're coming in and saying, I've got a strong opinion on this, and no one really does want to disagree with you, who's the most likely at 9 or at SEN to put their hand up as a sacrificial lamb and say, I'm happy to play the antagonist here?
Yeah, it happens. That happens rarely because I think you get found out if you say something you don't believe in. And that's sort of what I always said. Not to say that I always get it right, and not to say that I haven't sort of gone 20% too hard before in the past and regretted that, but I've never really said anything I don't genuinely have the belief behind it. So if others are going to go, no, I'm just going to disagree for the sake of it, then I reckon I'll just eat them alive in an argument because I'll be able to see straight through it. They don't really believe that. They don't have the information to back that up. So I would advise against saying something that you don't believe in.
I interestingly was saying to Hammy before, so I'm just paid by Sportsbet. That's all I've got. Hammy's got a few things in a few pies, a bit like yourself.
Right.
He's working at Sportsbet. He's on the Bloke in a Bar podcast, the number one sports podcast in Australia right now, or if not number one, number two.
Certainly how Denon sells it. So
that's how Denon sells it. He's also does some work on SEN, a few live crosses, and I often say to him, "Are you bringing your best stuff here to Sportsbet to
like
give
40 units up? So I'm bringing my best bets here.
You are, but are you bringing your best take? I bring my best takes here to Sportsbet because that's why they pay me. That's what they pay me to do.
Yeah.
But how do you decide? Who do you give your best stuff to? Because across the weekend, you got the AFL show on the Saturday night, you got Sunday footy show, you got SEN. Is it just the luck of the draw? Who's got you next?
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Yeah.
To be completely honest, there's a couple of times where I've had a thought on maybe a Monday, and I think that would be a good article. So when you
hold
the age,
it's
writing an article is really hard. Like it takes a lot of time to put that together. It's probably the most time-consuming thing that you do, and it's hard to come up with a topic every week. So if you get a topic and you think you can sort of get it through to Thursday, and no one else is going to do it, sometimes, rarely, I'll hold it over. On the other times, I'll either repeat it and just say if I did it on the Saturday night, I go, well, new audience on Sunday morning on Channel 9 versus the AFL, so I'll just say the same thing. Maybe I'll get some different vision and change the opinion around a little bit, but largely it's just next up. So when the opinion arrives, whatever platform you're on next, you go with it.
Do you ever find you scratching for a take? Is that like it's round 15?
Yep.
It's July. The Giants have played St Kilda, and you're just sitting there. You're like, what am I going to say about this game?
That was a great game at Marnie Grove.
It's the hardest part of what you do. Like so that's where watching the games is so important, right? So if you don't watch the games, you're not going to have that added information to go, oh, I saw this happen. How's his form been? What's his preparation been like? So you really have to watch the games, and if you watch all 9 games, it's not difficult most weeks to come up with. You probably only need 4 or 5 strong opinions for the weekend, or from sort of Saturday to Monday night. And if you watch most of the games, which is hard to do, I get that, you should be okay.
Are you watching every game?
Yeah, not every game. Like, there's a lot of media heroes out there that sort of say, I sit there and I watch every single game, but I find that to be impossible. Like, because on Saturdays I travel, right? So my flight's usually at about 2:30 on a Saturday afternoon. There's a game or two on at that time. Yep. And Virgin, amazing, 2024, not always you have Wi-Fi on a plane.
No.
It's extraordinary.
That
could be a topic for you guys. Like, what say in the year 2000, what technology advancements did you think would be better off in 2024?
Well, I think this is an Australian issue though, because listen to Bill Simmons. He's like, I brought two iPads on the plane.
I heard that too.
I'm watching like UFC and the boxing at the same time. Here, if you might get Qantas will have it on most flights, but even then, it's not good enough to stream.
50-50 on Virgin, and Qantas, you're right. You get it. So good enough to send a text or send an email, but not to stream the footy. So I can't believe that in 2024, anyway, that we don't get Wi-Fi.
I'll tell you who's come to the party, Emirates. You see a lot of vision of people there watching the Matildas. They had them on there. They had a bit of cricket and some footy finals. So shout out to them for leading the way. We could learn a lot.
Singapore's good too.
Singapore.
And Australia invented Wi-Fi, so why are we the last one?
Great.
Exactly right.
Sorry, we invented Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, I wanted to
I remember
fact
watching Back to the Future and they've got those hovercrafts, like
Yep.
the guy in the air. I'm thinking, like, when I'm a kid, I'm thinking, 2020, we're going to be flying. Like,
Is that what it was, Back to the Future
Flying
2020?
cars. Oh, no, I think it was even less than that. I
Yeah.
think they
Really?
went back to, I don't know, it might have been like 2015 or something. But
Yep.
as a kid, I'm just going, this is going to be amazing. Flying car. And we can't even get Wi-Fi on an airplane.
Would you take right now, tomorrow, someone invents a flying car, and you can fly from
Yeah.
Sydney to,
Drive.
Adelaide to Melbourne
You can already
in a
fly from
flying car?
Sydney.
You can do that, yeah. Or you take Wi-Fi on a plane. Which one are you taking?
No, I'd take the flying car.
So Wi-Fi on a plane is not that high priority.
Nah, well, imagine if I could just take off in my backyard and jump in my car and get to Melbourne in a couple of hours.
How about
a
that?
good point.
What about a bit of Wi-Fi in the flying car?
Mine
Baby
fine.
steps,
Sorry,
eh? One thing at a time.
baby steps. Yeah. Where were we?
Confirming we did invent Wi-Fi, the
Really?
CSIRO did in 1990.
How come we're so bad at it? then?
1993.
Yeah.
And we're 2024.
I
Takes me
know.
back.
Reliability on airplanes.
Yeah, unbelievable. Now, the next thing we had here was we wrote the run sheet earlier today. Who's the other unnamed person at 9 going to 7? But the cat might be out of the bag now.
Oh, it's out.
Yeah, touchy.
It's out.
Yeah.
So have you dragged them with you? How's this gone down? Take us
Well,
behind the curve.
not well.
No?
No, I don't think.
Kim Jong Cornes going in there and just bringing everyone, just steamrolling.
I just want to say that Hutchie had nothing to do with my departure from Channel 9. Literally, that was Chris Jones from Channel 7 rang me one afternoon, not long after he took the job, and just said, do you mind coming over to my house and we'll have a discussion. That's how that started. So it was completely removed from anything to do with Hutchie. In terms of Caro leaving, it's a big story. Like, I think
Huge.
I just never thought that she would be gettable. She's been at 9 for 18 years, started footy classified with Hutchie, and but yeah, amazing get for Channel 7. I think it's just one of the great signings. So, but surprising. And Hutchie I can't really speak to other than what I've read in the Herald Sun. So it appears a lot of change at 9.
Anyone else making the move?
No, I would have loved to have got Lordo.
Yeah,
I would have
he's a
loved
star.
to. Yeah, I would have loved to, but he's pretty loyal, and I think he was contracted to 9 as well. So he will remain, as will the Sunday Footy Show guys, and that show, like, honestly, it's been going for 30 years. So when Billy Brownless left a few years ago, I thought, oh, gee, this is going to really hurt us.
Yeah,
Like, how are we going to replace Billy? But we just did.
Yeah.
Same with me. I'll leave. Someone else will come in, and hopefully the show's still there another 30 years.
Jeez, I tell you, he needs to step up. Brownie.
Yeah, well,
Bit of responsibility on
Right,
Brownie.
he's got to get his eye off the hosting chair and just step up and fill the void as the opinionist.
That's great advice.
What was this chat about him and the mixtape?
Oh, it's amazing.
Well, see, when I read this morning, it was another unnamed person. I was like, well, it must be him. Was he
Well, he
sending
tried.
Chopping himself around.
Not to 7, mind you. I think it might have been to the other rights holder of the AFL.
Oh, right.
I believe so.
So he really wants that host chair.
Well, I think he's pretty good. Like,
He is great,
I
yeah.
think in all seriousness, I think his calling is underrated. So I mean, for him to get on a network that had the broadcast rights and be able to call footy on TV, that should be his goal. I would have thought, and it's hard when 9 don't have the rights. But
Yep.
I think he's happy. But you can ask him that.
Okay.
Well, yeah, we will.
He doesn't talk to us, doesn't know who we are.
No. Just gets around with these big calves here all the time.
No, he's a good bloke, Brownie.
He's a great man.
Yeah.
I was just going to ask you, as I said, fingers in multiple pies. What do you enjoy doing the most? You enjoy the writing, the radio, or the TV? Say you had to drop one, or just choose to do one, what would it be?
Well, the radio is probably the best because you can just sort of rock up in your tracksuit and just no one can see you. You don't have to get makeup on. You don't have to get dressed. So that's all that sort of stuff is pretty time consuming. The production meetings that go into TV shows are big. So Footy Classified might go to air at 7:30 at night, but I'm in there at 4, getting makeup, getting dressed, looking at vision, having the production meeting, and then going on air. Whereas I feel like radio, I can sort of get to the point now. I can sort of rock up half an hour ahead of the program, know what I'm doing, get to do it with someone else. So I think radio is the easiest and most enjoyable, and you can also interact with people as well and punch on with the callers.
Yeah.
I really enjoy that side of it as well. It gets pretty combative, or your co-host like a David King. But TV gives you the biggest amount of eyeballs,
Reach, yeah.
I think the biggest reach and biggest cut through. So I think to be answering your question, I think all of them are pretty important.
You've been caught out a couple of times this year on you're doing radio and you're like potentially distracted, or you.
Well, they film everything now.
That's what I was going to say. You're aware that they film you on radio.
Well,
now.
I shouldn't have said that because they do now. Like, and
It's all social
you
clips
can
now,
switch off. Like if Daniel Hoyne from Champion Data is talking, and it's like I can still listen. I'm still listening to him, but I need to check realestate.com. I sort of, no, I'm just joking. I sort of can, but it looks like you're distracted, but you're not. But just because you're on camera all the time and it's cut up and put on social, yeah, people don't miss much.
I know. Sometimes when Sam's talking, I tune out.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You'd be looking at your computer, checking your bets.
I know what it's like.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, footy this weekend. Who do you like? How do you see this game playing out?
Look, I love the matchup.
Yeah.
The other two teams, take Port aside, from just a personal point of view that I wanted to see in the grand final. I just think they're both have the most amount of talent on the ground. So last year was as good a grand final as I've ever seen. Like some of the goals that were kicked, like that Zach Bailey goal early,
Crazy,
Charlie Cameron just lighting up and Bobby Hill doing what Bobby Hill did. That game had everything. And I feel like with the weather on Saturday, we're going to get sort of an equal show. I think it'll be high scoring. I think the skill that will be on display with Brisbane's small to medium forwards as good as anyone, and then Sydney's midfield. Firstly, it's just everything you would want in a good matchup. And the neutral venue as well is also really unique. It doesn't happen very often.
No.
We beat Brisbane in 2004, and there's been occasions when West Coast and Sydney have gone at it, but it's rare that two interstate sides play. So that I love. I do like Brisbane's build-up. I like the fact that they're going to be really hard, and I feel like they just haven't played at their best. They gave that start to the Giants. We saw that. They gave that start to on the weekend as well. So I just feel like if they can get it together and play 4 quarters, then they're going to be pretty frightening. I'm hesitant to say that, though, with Oscar McInerney out with that shoulder as well, so I think that's a big blow.
Yep.
How do they replace? Is it more of a split? Does Joe spend more time in there, do you think, or will Fort play as much time in there?
I reckon you could play Fort and just say take as many miles as you possibly can out of Grundy.
Out of him, yeah.
When you jump into him and you whack into him, I'd be telling the teammates every time Brody Grundy runs past you, like just put some punishment into him. A little bit like what teams do against Max Gawn. You remember like teams bump him off the ball.
Yep.
So do that. Give us your best 2.5 quarters, and then hopefully we haven't had any other injuries on the day, and then we'll inject the runner in, and then Joe or Dunkley or whatever can handle the ruck in the last quarter and a bit. That's sort of the approach that I would take. Maybe Fort's just got to get his head around playing maximum 3 quarters and take as many miles out of Grundy as you can.
I don't love hearing that as a Swans fan.
Yes.
I think Lions are going to get it done. I saw your bracket at the start of the final series. You had the Swans winning at that point. Yeah. What sort of changed?
Well, I don't know. It's just that season, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like I don't say that with any confidence because you couldn't be any better set up if you're Sydney. Like,
Yeah.
The depth that they've got, Papley coming back in, midfield is absolutely flying. They've been the best team all year. They had the week off. They've had a pretty cruisy win against Port Adelaide. They haven't travelled as much as Brisbane. So, I mean, that's the reason Sydney are favourites. So would I be shocked if Sydney win and win comfortably? No. I just feel like Brisbane, their talent and their potential is untapped at the moment because they just haven't put it together yet. And if they do, look out.
Okay, all right. A bit nervous. What about a Norm Smith bet? Is there anybody that you like that stands out? Obviously, the usuals are your favourites there. Heaney, Chad Warner, a bit of money come for him, and Lockie Neal there probably leading the way. Is there anyone outside of that you like, or one of those boys?
Just got to look at the midfielders, don't you? Like, it's just how long since a key forward's won a Norm Smith?
Don't
Who
know.
knows? Like, I mean, the odd intercept defender has won them from time to time.
Yeah.
Sort of Luke Hodge and Brian Lake and these types of players.
Yep.
Johannesson running half back.
Yeah, Johannesson. But Boyd probably should have won it that year.
Embley won it on the wing, but mainly midfielders. So it's hard to go past any of the other midfielders. I just think I've sort of tipped Brisbane to win, but you go Chad Warner's $8. I think I just
he is.
like, isn't he just going to stand out? So he probably needs 23 touches, Chad Warner, and he can win this Norm Smith medal.
Yep.
He probably kicks a couple and lights it up through the middle of the ground, sort of Byron Pickett style in 2004. Not a huge numbers game, but. And then I do like Cam Rayner as well. I'm not sure what he'd be.
It's like
$18.
18.
See, that's it. So he probably. I mean, he had 18 and 2 goals on the weekend.
Would he have got it on the weekend, you reckon?
No.
Neil probably?
He only had 4 touches at half-time.
Yeah,
right?
but he stood up late.
That's the thing about him.
Yeah.
Like, he's like Warner, he just catches your eye.
Yeah.
I think if he could get himself to 21, 22 touches and 2 or 3 goals, then he's going to be hard to go past. But then you got Isaac Heaney, who's the favourite and the hottest player in football right now, and Lockie Neal with what he did on the weekend. So many options, but if I had to pick one for a bit of value, I think Chad Warner at $8 is pretty good. Just
on the midfield matchups, do you think Horse will send a body to Neil?
James Jordan probably. I think he'll have that up his back, under his sleeve. But I don't know. I think he might back his midfield in.
Just go system v system.
Yeah, like even what they did against Port Adelaide, there wasn't really a whole lot of attention. I think
No.
Rowbottom's there as well.
Yeah.
So Rowbottom is a good matchup for Neil. So maybe they just put a body on him. Jordan may go to Zorko, or they may use him on the wing. I'm not sure. So I think it'll be a bit of a shootout at the start and see how the game unfolds. The one I'd be looking at is Luke Parker on Harris Andrews. I think Parker, undersized of course, but did a really good job on Aliir when he started to look good against Port Adelaide early, and Parker's smart enough to get off and kick a goal. So that's one I'll look at.
Beautiful.
Just before I let you go, Katy Perry performing.
Love it.
Favourite Katy Perry song? Any of you?
The one that got away.
One that got away? Yep.
She's got...
As a homage to last Friday night?
She's got good songs.
She has.
Yeah. She's got...
Not sure about her wanting to push all this stuff on the new album.
No.
Just give us your best.
Give us your bangers.
Give us your 5 best.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what we want.
That should be in the
she
contract.
She doesn't want to sing Raw, and the Lions are playing. I would have thought no-brainer.
Yeah, I would have thought. Firework will be in
Fireworks,
there. Yeah.
Hot and Cold, surely.
Yep.
Teenage Dream.
Teenage Dream's a banger.
June.
That's a genuine banger.
That's not bad.
She does have some absolute bangers.
Some good songs.
But
She's a superstar.
Like the new album I saw the other day is the lowest Metacritic score of any new album in the last
poorly reviewed
12 months.
So you can understand Andrew Dillon just jumping on.
Like, hey,
bangers only.
we're not paying you $5 million to do this.
That's good leadership from him, which you love. I do worry when you get these big blockbusters. We had Robbie Williams last time. Swans were in the grand final. Got absolutely towed up. So the better the entertainment, the worse we seem to go. Just hope the boys don't get distracted by
just
Katie.
Give me some Mike Brady though. That's all I need.
He'll be there. Don't worry about that.
He'll be there.
It just gets me going.
He
They defrost him about now, don't they?
I was going to say, what does he do for the rest of the year? What does he
doesn't
do?
need work. He just lives off this song this time of year for a week. It's like Mariah Carey at Christmas time.
Yeah. Or Dane Swan grand final week. Anzac week doing cashies. That's basically the same setup. Mate, that's basically all we've got. Any other little hot take for the grand final or anything? Or probably covered it all off, haven't we?
Yeah.
He's saving that for his actual other employers,
all good. Been good to catch up and jump on, fellas. And now that I know about you, I'll be straight on Spotify and just
that'd be great.
Subscribing to the podcast.
Like, subscribe, leave a positive review. That'd be great.
5-star review.
Thanks very much
for
joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks for your time.
Cheers.
Thank you.
All right, the sharpest mind in the game, Kane Cornes. Thanks to him for coming on.
Yep.
But it would only be fair if we bring the most objective, the most opinionated. After following that, we have to bring the biggest nuffy in the sport into the show. Welcome to Flanas. If you can't tell at home, Flanas, just a little bit of a Swans man. He was saying just in here before that he doesn't think he's going to get a great deal of sleep between now and Saturday.
Pretty standard for Flanas.
That's pretty standard behaviour for you, I would have thought.
Yep. Yeah, no,
how are you feeling?
Mate, I can't wait. Super excited. It's going to be the best day of the year. Can't wait to see the boys hold up the cup. And
oh, wow. Now, so real manifestation going on here. It's not even a matter of whether you hold up the cup. It's when they hold up the cup.
Yeah, no, 5 p.m. Can't wait. Yeah, great.
There is a real sort of 2012 feel in the air, isn't there, Flanas? I'm noticing that around.
Absolutely. Yep. Great vibes with all the Schwannies faithful. I feel like it's a bit of a reverse 22 feel.
Yep.
So we had... we were the dominant team all year this year. Geelong were in 22, of course. Geelong 22 had the hectic qualifying final against Collingwood.
Yep.
We had the hectic qualifying final against GWS.
Giants, yes.
We had the brutal down to the last second prelim against the Pies in 22, whereas Brizzy had that on Saturday. Cats had the Cruisy home prelim final in 22, unchallenged, won easily like we did on Friday.
A lot of synergy.
And there was a major injury concern for us in 22 with Reedy in the ruck, as they have with Oscar McInerney in the ruck. So I feel like it's a bit of a reverse there of the 22.
I like it.
That's good synergy.
This is good.
So usually Ella says, well, not Ella, the Eagle says stupid things like that about Manly that have no synergies and don't make any sense. It's just like something happened in 2008, therefore Manly's going to win the comp. Whereas that has like 6 levels of parallel.
Yep.
So
Flanas
has
always been a big synergy guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've always said that about you.
Yep.
How was it being in the joint on Friday? It was a bit of a stinker of a game really in the second half.
That was a great watch, wasn't it?
Oh, it was good for me.
It was a very comfortable watch for Swans fans. Like you never thought you were in doubt really.
No, I was never in doubt. We demolished them from start to finish, and I feel like it'll be a bit more of the same on Saturday.
Do you really think that?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
You say like the line's like 4.5, 25 plus, 40 plus. What are you thinking? Which?
Oh, 40 plus.
You think 40 plus?
Or pick your own line and make it 80 plus.
I will say, us Swans fans, we're not getting too carried away.
Well,
are we?
Are you hearing this?
Not at all.
We're not getting too carried away. Hang on.
Here we
no.
go.
What are you doing?
Just pad formula.
It's like Superman.
I can't believe this absolute carry on from
We're not
you
getting
two.
too carried away. I will say,
It's like Superman.
an announcement of my, I will announce one of my bets on the show. I'm having a unit on, Swans 40 plus actually.
Are you actually?
Yeah, at $5.80. So
You see what I can see this game playing out many ways. I can't see it playing out 40 plus.
Well, that may be a popular theme in my bets when we get to those. as well.
Yeah. So that's one of mine. I know we're not, we're going to get to Flanders' bets, but we're not getting carried away. At this
Not at all. Just realists.
Do you realise did you feel about this way about the previous 3 grand finals you played in?
No, it's a little bit of a different feel here.
Yeah?
I mean, we've been the best team all year, and faced every challenge, and our boys are ready now. I feel like a couple of years ago we were probably a little bit young, probably got to the grand final a little bit too early, and now cherry ripe. Our core is at the right age, and we are all fit, firing, ready to go. So
nice ripe core.
Give us an insight into how you'll be feeling mentally if you lose.
Don't bother. No need.
yeah, no, it hasn't really crossed my mind.
Really you haven't thought about it once.
No, it's not really on the radar at any point in the last 3 months, 4 months. Since we had our podcast earlier in the year where I was saying I don't see the Swannies losing a game, I've felt
You weren't far off.
Yeah, just a lazy 100-point loss against Port at one point there.
Was that in
that around?
That wasn't in the prelim though, was it? No, that's right. We smashed them. Flanders.
I want to just quickly, before we move on, how do you feel about this? Because you're as big and nuffy, Manly-wise, as he's Swans. Do you go into games thinking, I go into a lot of games thinking I'd really dread how I'm going to feel after this match if we lose?
Like now I do. Back when I was growing up, no.
You just thought you'd win every week?
Yeah, I thought we just made grand finals every second year when I was growing up.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, not the reality anymore.
So, going into the game on Saturday, which Manly got pumped if you weren't watching at home, what were you feeling? Were you worried about the dread of the loss, or were you like...
No, because this year, because we were coming from 7th, I was like, week 2 was my pass mark. So the whole week and the day off,
you did say that. Yeah.
I was feeling good. Then kickoff happened and I felt sick.
Grim.
Literally couldn't eat dinner. So
really?
that was fine. Yeah. Yep. And
same for you?
Anyways.
No, we're fine.
We caught up for the game. Eating dinner wasn't an issue for you.
Never is.
All right, let's hear some bets. Now, the punters at home, if you don't follow Flanas on the feed, you should.
Been living under a rock if you haven't done that.
Yeah, you have. Because if you want to bet on Swans games, there is no man who will give you more Swans bets than Flanas.
Yep.
Pretty much all of them this year.
What sort of strike rate are we working with on
Oh, we
number
got
of, 90% of your bets are Swans related?
Maybe 97.
What are the other 3%? Some
Now that the Marsh Cup's kicked off.
Yeah.
Some random cricket in some other part of the world.
Good win yesterday.
Yeah, great win. Go Vicks.
Where
Sammy
actually-
Elliott.
Were you there?
Superstar. No, I wasn't there. I would have liked to have got there, but I had some other things to
We're going on Friday after the parade.
to the Vicks, to the junction. Yeah.
Are you actually?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you going?
Yeah, we'll be going. Yeah.
So haven't taken
Go
another
to Vicks.
catch. That'll be a good omen for the
All right, bets. Let's do it.
Bets. Okay, I've got a few here.
How many have you got?
We have 7. And I reckon they'll all come good, but beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Okay, yeah. Talk us through them.
First one here, Sydney to cover the line in every quarter. First quarter line, second quarter line, third quarter line, fourth quarter
Which
line.
is what?
Swannies paying 9.75.
What are the lines in each quarter?
We got 0.5 in the first, 1.5, 1.5, 1.5 for the last 3.
Okay.
Slow start, some concern.
No, we'd be fine.
Okay.
We played best game of the year last week, 4-quarter performance, won every quarter.
So 9.75. Don't mind that.
I like that bet. If you think a team's going to do a number on someone, it's almost better than a 40-plus bet. You underestimate how often that does happen. That would happen on the weekend, right? I don't know.
Yeah, won every quarter.
Yeah, there you go.
Second one is Sydney total points. Bit of value here for the Swans to score 121 points or more at $11. Big fan of that one.
120 points.
You're
Have we done that many times this year?
Not sure, but this is the day for it.
This is the day that it'll happen.
I'll have a little search.
Yeah, have a little bit.
I'm going to say
of
maybe
England.
once. I think North maybe. That's probably
Yeah, would have done that.
Yeah.
Against North. Gold Coast, potentially.
Gold
as well.
Coast was a pumping.
That
as
was
well,
that was big. That was big. And that's what, 11-ish bucks, did you say?
Yeah, $11.
Yeah.
Yeah. So-
Just
Essendon as well, 131.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all the minnows,
just
we've got to tout
just
them
a slight difference between the backlines in those 3 teams and Harris Andrews potentially.
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah.
One I like here for a bit of value for the North Smith, our contested beast and tackle machine, James Rowbottom.
Yep.
The way he goes
Okay.
about things every week. He's the sort of guy you expect to have a bit of a big influence on contest, which is what grand finals are all about.
Yes.
A lot of contested ball clearances, 15-plus tackles and whatnot. So Rowie paying $67 for the norm.
Okay.
Absolutely worth a little
I
skip, I would have thought.
Now, I like a little value play at the normal. I was always used to be quite big on backing a man who was robbed of 2, Lewis Roberts Thompson, 05 and 2012. He could have won him. If he had to kick that goal that he got for the holding the ball free, I reckon he would have won it at 51s. So I don't mind a little bit of a value play there, Flanas, and I like your reasoning behind Rowbottom there as well.
How many Brownlow votes for Rowbottom last night?
Just the one, but he's very much an underrated operator.
All right.
Next one I like is the big boys multi. McDonald, Amati, McLean, they all dominated the prelim last week, hit the scoreboard. So I've got all 3 of them for 2+. Into big Brody Grundy, who's been dominant in the ruck all year. Should have been all Australian. Don't know how Gorn got in there.
That's a good point.
Melbourne finished bottom 6 and Grundy led us to 17 wins and first on the ladder. But anyway,
great point.
With no Oscar McInerney out there for Brisbane,
Yeah.
I feel like the big unicorn set for a blistering performance in the middle of the ground. So I got him for 15+ disposals. So those 4 legs, Grundy 15, McLean, Amati, McDonald, all 3+ goals. 2+ goals. Into the Swans 40+, of course.
That's going to be
is paying 48.75.
I would have said about 50s. Yeah, okay.
Well, if you're hot on him to win and win well, there's enough there for those other ones to come through.
I liked it, and I liked the Grundy theory, although Kane was saying just before you came on air that if he was Chris Fagan, he'd be saying to Darcy Fort, just go out there and bash him for 3/4, basically. That's some concern, but you would think that Grundy's strength is he's basically another midfielder. He's going to be way better at that than Fort.
Yeah, and Brody's big boy, he'll bash into Darcy, I would think.
You reckon he'll take him on?
Next
All right,
one,
keep going.
staying with goal kickers.
Yep.
And if it's not the bigs, it's going to be the smalls.
Love some
Tom
smalls.
Papley and Will Hayward have been unstoppable all year in the forward 50, so expecting them to get up and about, do some damage. So Paps 4+ into Wilbur 4+ in Sydney 40+. That one's paying a nice 88-1.
Jeez. That's a big one. So how
If
many
that
round
gets
now?
up, I'll walk backwards to Brisbane. Dead set. I'll walk backwards to Brisbane if that gets up.
Clip that up, Eagle. What? How many have we had there? 4. Is that 4? That's 5.
We got 2 to go.
2 to go. Last 2.
Let's read.
Are you leaving your most confident for last, or are they kind of building in value?
All right, yeah, I'm pretty confident on the last one.
Okay.
So let's go.
All right.
Then we got the run and gun multi with the boys who love to get on their bike and break lines and create for us. So we've got Nick Blakey, the Lizard, Ollie Florent, Oflo, Matty Roberts, Robbo, and Juzzy McInerney. So we'll get 20+ into the Swans 40+, of course, and that'll get you 30.75.
What is out of interest? What's it paying without the 40? No,
I haven't looked at that.
that's fine. That's
It'd
fine.
be like 6s or 7s, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the last one I've got here is the best 3 mids in the comp who exposed the failings of the Brownlow last night. Dacos and Cripps get all the votes because they don't have any teammates good enough to take votes off them.
Great
Haynes,
point.
Chad and Errol, best 3 players in the comp, all stole votes off each other last night, all got 20+ votes last night. Got all 3 of them for 25+ and a goal into Swans 40+, of course, and that comes out at $39.
So the 40+ is the anchor. You don't often see that as the anchor.
Have we considered not putting 40+ in any of these?
Doesn't sound like it. So you're hot on them. 580 for the Swans 40+, just for context, at time of recording.
Look, what I'll say, if these are going to hit, you're going to need them to win by 40. So it's not the worst logic. Just be prepared that if they don't win by 40, none of them are probably going to hit. So,
Yep.
yeah, it's worth thinking about.
Yep.
You could try it without the 40+, maybe just Swans head-to-head.
Yes. What about without the Swans? No, there's just no point not having it.
No, they've got to be in there.
Go Swans.
Up the Schwannies, yeah.
Oh,
So pumped.
that's great.
No,
That's really
it's good stuff, mate. You're clearly very, up and about. It's very exciting, very nervous time for us both, but it'll be a big week. We did ask Kane when he was in here. Katy Perry obviously performing pre-game.
Yep.
Any Katy Perry bangers that you are looking forward to her performance? She has said apparently she's not going to do Raw, even though the Lions are playing. So maybe that's a good omen for the Swans. She refuses to sing Raw.
Right.
So a friend of the show, Tom Morris, reported on Monday night, I think it was, that, it's not on the current set list.
Okay.
Yep. Don't know if she's refusing, but
She's
not on the
doing
current set list.
waking up in Vegas for the Lions, or
There's a bit of sledging going on.
Yeah, I like
the
it.
crowd I was in about
Bit of
waking up in Vegas on Saturday night.
Bit of method to the madness there, Flanas. I like it. A few shots across the bow from Katy
Is that what
Perry.
you hope? Is that what you hope she sings?
she can sing whatever she wants. I'm excited for the game.
Yep.
Just don't care.
Tunnel vision.
Yeah,
Tunnel vision Flanagan.
Just give me that bounce. Blood's footy, baby. 4 more quarters. Come on.
All right, I
very
think
good.
that'll pretty much do us with Flanas, I reckon.
That's funny.
About enough Nuffy. I have to sit next to the Eagle. I'm glad that the Manly Nuffy's over. One more week of Swans Nuffies and I'm done.
Up the Schwannies. Let's go.
You'll be putting up with us for a lot longer than that, mate.
If you win it, probably.
Yep.
All right, go Swans.
If
Thanks
not-
for joining us, Flanas.
If not, we'll
Thanks,
move on
boys.
pretty
Thanks, Ella.
quickly next week.
Yeah.
I'd imagine.
Talk to you soon.
Sounds good, mate.
Big thanks to Kane. Big thanks to Flanas. Very excited to hear their opinions on the granny and hear from all sorts of things, including Wi-Fi on flights from Kane.
Yep.
Didn't have that on the checklist.
Hovercar, you prefer hovercar to Wi-Fi on flights? Didn't have that on my Kane Cornes bingo card coming in today, but
We see a lot of him, but we haven't seen a take like that from him this year. So that's the sort of stuff we give you on Give Me Something.
Yep. That's a red hot take.
That's a red hot
And I'm
take.
glad that he didn't save that one for one of his other shows.
No.
And he brought that to us here.
Absolute A-set stuff from him there.
Yeah, good to learn the art of the hot take. We're set up for success because we don't agree on a lot all the time.
No, we don't.
But that was great to have him. And of course, Flanas as well. Busy, nervous, sweaty week for Flanas with the Swans in a grand final. So very grateful to have
Very
him as well.
interesting strategy to have Swans 40 plus. Was it in every bet? It might have.
Just about.
That's a very interesting strategy.
Yep.
He'll either be a very rich man on Saturday night and a very happy man.
Yep.
For multiple reasons.
Yep.
Or very poor and very sad.
I'd encourage people, if they're going to follow Flanas, to don't have to put that leg in, all of them. I'd probably stand that one out on its own because it had a bit of value. But I like that he's confident on a good Swans win. Balanced out Kane tipping the lines, which has me nervous.
Yeah, he was a very serious analysis. Flanas was like, I don't even contemplate the fact that we might lose this match.
I love the positivity.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, speaking of, let's get some positivity in the room here for your bets.
Yep.
You're starting us off on Friday.
India, Bangladesh. Now, Bangladesh were very good to me against Pakistan and good to the people that followed me as well. I don't think they're going to really fire a shot against India. I think they've got too many bases covered. They're too good at home. No one can really beat them at home.
Yep.
Ashwin. I saw a great stat. I think he's in 4 matches now. He's scored a ton and taken a fifer in 4 test matches. Second most of any person of all time. I think maybe Beefy Botham may have him covered in that.
Took a ton and a fiver in the same game.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
So he's flying. And I feel like a lot of test matches in India, it's a two-player play, basically.
Yep.
Jadeja and Ashwin, player of the match. They're both paying $8.50. They're the joint favourites. They're always involved with bat and ball.
Yep.
Even if they don't get wickets in one innings, there's a good chance they're going to take them, particularly at the back of the game when the pitches really break up a little bit. They're going to have a big impact with the ball there. And they've both got the capability of making runs and, at least contributing. They've got hundreds in them as well. Because I've got a few units to play with here off the back of my dominant ice bath display. I'm having a unit on Ashwin and a unit on Jadeja when they play in the next test this Friday.
Okay.
Yep. Happy with that?
Yep. Good start.
Good method to the madness there.
Yeah. And no, I love that. I honestly love that approach. We'll probably follow you in, although it means I have to watch India, Bangladesh, which I do not want to do.
Yep.
Especially when it's a grand final
You'll be
week.
looking for something on sort of Sunday once the footy's out of the way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Potentially, yeah.
Yep. There is a bit of Marsh Cup on Sunday too, so you have to have 2 screens going. Anyway, we'll carry on.
Yes. Let's
Friday
move.
night footy.
Friday night footy.
Yep.
I've been waiting for this opportunity for a couple of weeks now. These are the 2 best teams in the NRL. They have been the 2 best teams all season. The Storm and the Panthers. I am confident that they're going to be the 2 teams playing in the grand final. I'm a little bit worried about the Roosters. The Roosters, I think, are a better side possibly than the market's giving them a little bit of credit for. It's a big start. And I'm a little bit worried about there's a bit of rain around on the forecast out at Homebush on Saturday evening.
Yep.
So for that reason, I think the current line's like 9.5 in the Storm Roosters game. I think it's like 11.5 in the Panthers Sharks game. I'm bringing them back into a converted try. I'm going to have Storm -5.5 into Panthers -5.5. You put them together, you get $2.18. I think they both get the job done by a converted try. I'm having 2 units on them. I just think they have, as I said, been the 2 best teams all season. The Storm have gone to a new level. Hughes is now the best player in the competition. Munster, the last probably 4 weeks, looks like prime Cam Munster again. And the Panthers are just the Panthers. It almost feels like they are destined to be... we'll talk about the grand final next week, but it feels like maybe they're on their way to their 4th premiership. So I think that is the matchup we deserve in the NRL this season. That's the matchup we're going to get.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
I'm aligned.
Yeah?
I'm right there with you. I think the Storm with a week off in Melbourne, they've really put some teams away here this year. I'm going Storm 13 plus in this one.
Yep.
I went to a prelim the Storm had at actually they got done there. That might have been a Cowboys one many years ago, but they just don't lose there that often. They've been, I think, the best team all year.
Same.
I think the Roosters, there's been a bit of a knock on them, even at full strength, that they can't compete with the top 2. I'm sure they'll be fired up. They were pretty good the other night.
Yep.
I just think missing guys like Sam Walker. The Storm are just cherry ripe for this. 3 units at $2.12 for the Storm, 13 plus. I'll be there as well. Looking forward to it. I hope it's a good game, but I have got a bit of a gap on you. I thought I can have a good crack at it here.
Where are you sitting?
Don't know.
Behind the glass?
I don't think so. Just in the stadium somewhere.
It's amongst the punters.
Yep.
Tigers jersey on?
No.
Go find Hammy.
Maybe a Swans jersey, actually.
A Swans jersey?
Yeah, go Swans.
At
Random
an
Swans guy.
NRL game.
Random Swans guy.
Don't be that guy. You're better than that.
That's true.
You are, yeah.
That's true, actually. But I'm looking forward to it. I love, pointing into the season footy, exciting stuff. But I think the Storm are going to do a number on them.
Okay.
Yep.
Hope you are right. All right, let's move on. Friday night. I don't know about what time this will go. There's the Manikato on Friday night. The Manikato Stakes Group 1 race. One of the best
Guinea will be there.
spectacles. Guinea will probably be there. Yeah, I don't think we've got a race time out yet because they're still figuring out fields, etc. But Friday night is, as I said, one of the great spectacles on the spring racing calendar. Group 1 sprinters. We have the best sprinters in the world under lights at the Valley. Just a beautiful couple of minutes in sport. And I think there's a bet to be had here on Friday night. I think I Wish I Win, the Peter Moody sprinter. It's been around for a couple of years now as one of Australia's best sprinters. He's gone up $4.40 in this race. I think that's too big a price. The traders, God bless their souls, have put up Growing Empire, which is, I think it's only had 5 starts for Ma and Zara. It's won 4 of those 5 starts, won its last start up at Flemington Straight. It actually went up favourite. It's a bit like, I'm trying to think what it's like. It's like a kid in the under 14s going up to play under 16s and going into that match as a favourite. It's just, he's moved up a few classes here. Okay. I don't know if he's ready to play with the big boys yet. I think I Wish I Win is still one of the best sprinters in Australia and can get the job done there at $4.40. Hayasugi and Estrella, the other 2 horses in the market. Again, newish kids on the block. This is the established sprinter in the race, and I think for that reason is the great betting option in the race. I'm having 1 unit on at $4.40 on Friday night.
Yep. Don't mind it.
I
might join you there as well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, look, that's great to
I'm
hear.
not going to put a unit on it here, but in my own time.
Okay. All right.
Big one.
Now, this is why we're here today. We're here to talk about the grand final.
Yep.
I have a strong opinion about this match. I think you do as well.
Yep.
Do you want to begin?
Sure.
Let's go.
Well, I revealed, chat with Flanas that I'm having a unit on the Swans 40 plus $5.80.
Yes.
But I think we should. This is due a head-to-head bet. What are we putting on the line for this week?
I think the Lions are one of the best bets of the AFL season.
That's disgusting.
Why is it disgusting?
No, I can't believe this bloke's talking about his second team like this.
I know, right?
Well, have you
What's
not
his former team?
What do I say at the start of this show?
That you
You're
switch
Australian.
teams.
Sorry?
That you switch teams.
In a roundabout way, you do say that.
Passport, Australian, wallet, citizen of the world. And I think there is just a bit of destiny about this Lions team this season.
Does your passport not say you're born in Brisbane?
Billawheeler, actually, just outside Rockhampton, I'm from, if you must know.
That explains it.
Why? What are you saying to great people at Billawheeler? Sorry to our Billawheeler viewers.
They got internet out there yet? What's going on?
No Wi-Fi.
It's only 7 hours north of Brisbane, mate. What are you talking about? I am nothing if I'm not a guy who refers to the numbers. And the numbers,
Where the door opening is, bloke.
The numbers nerds on Squiggle, which is, as I've spoken about a few times, a compilation. That's what they call me, yeah. A compilation of about 20 different data models on AFL matches. They have spat out the Lions being favourites by about 6 or 7 points. Now, the market says Sydney's favourites by 4.5 points. I can't argue with the numbers. The numbers say the Lions should be favourite. They're not. They're a bet. They have no right to be here based on the way they played against the Giants. They got it done.
Yep.
They played one of the great games of the season on Saturday night.
That was good.
Lucky enough to be there. Saw them up close. The way that their midfield just burst out of stoppage against Geelong in that second half, outstanding. They did it without the big O. That is some query. I understand that. Mm-hmm. But I still think this should be way closer to a pick'em than it is. They're $2.12. They're a massive price. I'm having 3 units on the Lions. And yeah, I'm happy to go head-to-head with you on this.
So I'm going to go 3 units on the Swans because great team, no dickheads policy. Maybe that's why you don't support the Swans. So anyway, we're going to go head-to-head on this one.
Yep.
We've spoken at length with all of our guests today about Katy Perry being the pre-game entertainer.
Yes, we have.
Now,
exciting.
Very exciting. I think with that in mind, the loser of this has to come on the show next week and give it a good crack for at least one verse. Has to, in their best singing voice, not phoning it in like you're paging Dr. Beat.
I didn't phone it in.
You did phone it in?
No.
You need to come on here and sing a Katy Perry song of your choosing for at least one verse. If you got it in you and you want to keep going, more than happy to entertain longer. But at least one verse and a chorus will be delivered.
What do you think about this, Eagle?
It's like making me cringe already. Like my palms are kind of getting sweaty.
You were saying in the green room you were a good singer.
Never said that ever. I think I said on a pub test once I can hold a moderate tune, but now I'm really regretting saying that.
Can we make the bet that you have to reshare in your personal Instagram as well?
Well, of course. It'll be going on the sports bet one's a big call, isn't it?
Oh, sports bet's huge.
We'll get back to you on the sports one. Must at least go on your personal.
on your story.
Yeah.
I have a reputation to uphold. How many times have I got to tell? Have I ever told you?
Clavs. No, you don't, mate.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't. You're nah. Anything that we do is only enhancing your reputation. So, looking
right,
forward
you're
to
on.
that. So, if you want to see if Sam can actually hold a note like he said on the pub test, go for the Swans.
What if Lions win?
Hey,
Lions win, you got to do it.
yeah, I know.
Okay.
Never said anything about my voice. Apologies in advance if I've got to sing, but hopefully it won't be happening.
Apologies to me. Yeah. All right. Let me quickly get through my 2 bets, and I'll throw to you for the granny.
Yep.
Because I think Brisbane's going to win. Again, privileged enough to be there on Saturday. Lachie Neale is the best player on the ground for the Lions, in my humble opinion. You could maybe say Rayner, potentially Zorko, but I thought Neale was the one who made the difference for them. And we're just talking to Kane before about he thinks there might be a bit of attention, maybe at stoppage, but it won't be a hard tag. And that gives me a lot of confidence that if they get it done, Neale's going to win the Norm Smith. I'm having 1 unit on him at $7.
Yep.
I also have a same gamer for those punters at home who like to play it that way. I have the Lions, Neale to have 25, Zorko to have 25, Papley to kick 2, 1 unit at $10.
Yep.
Happy with that?
Happily to kick 2. I like the sound of that part of it.
I think Papley's the kind of guy who is just although he didn't on 2022 Grand Final, but love his work on the big stage. I think he'll be the Swans, close to the Swans' best player.
Yep.
Happy to have him in for 2, but I think those 2 guys for the Lions, they just rack up numbers each week and will be the part of the difference for them on Saturday.
Yep.
All right, what do you like?
All right. Maybe I will be able to burn through my units here. Might have a couple of Norm Smiths in there.
Okay.
Going to make the graphic tough, Eagle. I apologise in advance, but
It's going to be a real tough graphic for the Eagle.
We'll figure it out.
Word
All right, so I've gone Swans head-to-head. Obviously, Swans 40 plus. I've got a unit on them as well. Grand Final quaddie.
What is this? What's Grand Final quaddie?
Yeah, this one caught my eye
Yep.
on the app. It's paying $18.
Okay.
Tom Papley, Isaac Heaney, Joe Danaher, or Charlie Cameron to kick the first or second goal of each quarter. So they've got to score, any of those players to be the first 2 goal kickers in each quarter.
Yep.
I just thought, I don't know, a lot of guys who will be featuring on the score sheet
Correct.
on the weekend, I would have thought. And multiple times too. So I feel like it didn't look crazy. A unit on that at $18.
Don't mind it.
Giddy up, I'll take it.
Norm bets?
Norm bets, I'm going to have 2 then. I'm going to have a unit on Chad Warner.
Yep.
Kane, I think, has talked me into it.
Yep. Good logic.
Yep, I didn't mind that at all. I'm going to go have a bit of not a roughie, but at a price, Papley at $26. I'm going to go with that as well.
Like that.
I think that takes me to the end of my grand final bets. I've got one in
Okay.
the NRL on Saturday night as well.
Sure. What do you like?
May or may not be watching this. If I'll have to might watch it the next morning, hopefully, if the Swans win.
Tipping you won't if you're on Swan Street. Or they might have it on.
Yeah, I think regardless, I'll be out celebrating hopefully a famous Swans win. I'm going to have 3 units on the Panthers minus 11.5 against the Sharks. I think
Lovely.
I'll do a number on them. 13 plus. I thought about. I was like, I wouldn't mind the safety net of just the 2 converted tries
Yes.
rather than the extra one.
The rain, any concern?
No,
No.
I think they're too good. The Panthers out
Predicted
there.
score. What do you think? Like they grind them out like they usually do, or is it a bit more high flying?
I think
like
something
Sharks games, or
similar to how the Roosters game panned out.
Yeah, okay.
Like an exceptional first
half and then
30
hang on.
minutes, and then just do what they need to.
Okay.
Manage
Did you
the
see
game.
the stat that Rando put out that it's been almost 800 days since the Sharks last scored against the Panthers?
Yeah, I did see that. Now,
800
They haven't
days.
scored against them since 2022 because,
Well, they only played them once or something.
yeah, just
That'd
like
be-
the last game was 42-0, 28-0, and then 20-10 back in 2022.
Yep, and then
crazy.
the Sharks did knock them off in 2021, 19-18, and then before that, Penrith 48-0.
That 42-0 game
They held
was-
them to nil a lot, which is
Yeah.
Yeah.
a psychological thing. I don't think they'll be holding them to nil in this game, but I think they deal with them pretty easily. Is my
Okay.
hunch.
All right. I like it.
And then we get the best 2 teams. That's the grand final we deserve.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. You can steal my lines. That's fine.
No, I said it as you said. Didn't I? Did you in for it? So,
Steal like
Exactly.
stole Ed's bets, that sort of stuff.
completely different. All right.
All right, one more bet. NFL Monday. I'm going to latch onto the Steelers like I latched onto the Bulldogs in the NRL this season. I told everyone I was ahead of the curve, told everyone they'd be good. They were really good. Should have beaten Manly in a final.
Yep.
Manly then choked a couple of weeks later.
Yep.
Real shame. Sorry, what was that?
Nothing.
Why'd you roll
I
your
didn't say
eyes?
anything.
Why'd you roll your eyes? I think they'll get the job done against the Colts on Monday morning, 3 a.m. Their line there is at 1.5 to get you that $1.91 price. Steelers have the best defense in the NFL this season, and against Anthony Richardson of the Colts, who basically only won the game on the weekend because Caleb Williams was just as bad as him for Chicago as he was. I just think they're going to be able to squeeze the life out of the Colts. They'll stop the run game that Jonathan Taylor provides for the Colts, and as they have been doing the last few weeks, just scoring that, 17, 20 points, 20-10, they beat the Chargers. Can see a similar outcome this week for the Steelers. So I think they're one of the better teams in the NFL, and a very strange NFL season this year. It's not, no one basically looks good at this point, but I think the Steelers are one of the best of a bad bunch. I'm having 2 units on them at $1.91.
Okay, I like it.
Multi?
Yeah, I've actually put one together there at the bottom of the run sheet. I don't know what you think about that. There's a few of ours that kind of cancelled each other out.
Yep.
Swans and Lions. So I've left that out, left the grand final out.
Okay, nice.
So you just pull me up if you think there's anything wrong here. I want to go Panthers minus 11.5 against the Sharks.
Like it.
The Storm 13 plus against the Chooks.
Like it.
Got the Steelers minus 1.5.
Yep.
And I wish I win to win the Manicato.
Ooh, very good.
Which spits out at $33.32.
Lovely.
Yeah?
Get that on the
Happy
feed.
with that?
Happy with that.
We'll get that one up on there.
Looking forward to the granny. Cannot wait. I can't believe I'm saying this, but go Lions. I've loved going to a lot of Swans games this year, but go Lions.
Why can you not believe you saying that? Didn't you used to go?
Because I said Sydney would be my second team. If I had a second team, I'm not a second team guy.
Oh, come on.
But I would have.
Oh, my God.
I would have.
He's learned a lot from Kane and the agitating role and, make sure you disagree with people and just push their buttons. You obviously absorbed a lot of what he said.
I've been doing that for many years.
You have,
Don't worry about that.
You have.
All right, thanks for joining us on the show. Make sure you follow us on YouTube, all that sort of stuff, and we'll see you next week.
Yep. Go Swan.
Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.